Richard Crouse.
Thank you so much.
Now, you're not only the star of the film, you're also a producer. Tell me what it was that made you, about this project, that made you commit to not just starring, but also producing the film.
Well, the quality of the material, was, I was very stimulated by that. And then you have to kind of ask yourself what it is the director wanted me to get involved in that level. And you ask yourself, is this a movie you want to, get made and take responsibility to help it get made and not leave it, in other words, chime in, because you could just say, well, I like the part, let me know when you start, but, it might or might not ever get made, and if you can step in and say, well, let me try to help push it up the hill, then if you care enough about it, then that's what you do.
Right, right. Was there something about your character, who was an aspiring actor, that sort of resonated with you?
Well, it certainly resonated, but it wasn't that the reason why. The quality of the writing was so terrific, and I love the character of Vince Rizzo, who I play. He's a man that's got his nose barely above water. He's struggling to as a man in his middle age. He has an aspiration to be an actor that he's never taken responsibility for. He's a corrections officer. He's embarrassed by the fact that he has the dream. He feels inadequate about that dream. He doesn't even feel talented about that dream. He also has a son that he's never taken responsibility for, that he finds in prison and decides to bring him home on provisional parole, and never tells him he's the father, and never tells the family that he's the son. I mean, he's a man, that's pretty conflicted in terms of what his, what his confidence level in life,
Well,
but it's the predicaments around that surround that, and all the secrets that him and his family hold from each other provide us with a very engaging human comedy,
Well, I also think it gives you the opportunity to bring in lots of interesting characters in each of the different facets of his life.
Right, exactly. And actors that can, that will respond to those characters because they're so beautifully written. So I knew that as a producer that I would attract, great actors. And you saw in the cast with Alan Arkin and Emily Mortimer and Juliana Margulies, and and certainly the younger actors in the piece, Stephen Strait and Ezra Miller and Dominique Garcia Laredo.
Well, I was really pleased to see Stephen Strait in this because I think he's a really good actor, and in some of the films, I think in the earlier part of his career, relied mostly on his looks rather than his talent, and I think there's a deep well of talent there, and I think this movie really plays off on that.
Absolutely. He's a very soulful young man, and in fact, we cast him in the movie only by a meeting. We never even read him. I just had the director met him. He was very impressed by him. He sent him over. I sat with him for a while, and I called him Raymond, who's the writer-director, and I said, that's my son, and cast him,
Right. Now, there's another actress that had to audition, Dominique Garcia Loretto, and the Garcia is not an accident. That wasn't just a happy coincidence. She's your daughter.
She's my daughter in real life, that's right.
Tell me a little bit about working with her. You've worked with her before, but tell me a little bit about working with her on set.
Well, she's great. I mean, she's like I said, we've worked together 3 times before. She came to this movie kind of through the back door, through the casting director had auditioned her for Entourage. She didn't get the part, but she called Raymond and said, I found your girl. And she said, who is it? He said, Andy's daughter. What? And he says, yeah, she's a great actress. You got to meet her. So I was very proud of her that she, that she sort of earned her right to be in the movie the way she wanted to, and she's a terrific actress. And obviously, I'm always very, very proud to share the set with her and have that experience, as you could imagine for any father. So it was great, and she's terrific in the role, and really all the younger actors are really fantastic in the film.
Yeah, the young man that plays your son, your other son, I thought was terrific as well.
Crazy kid, fantastic, a lot of talent there, and
a really unusual line delivery, which I really responded to. I thought he was really funny.
He's got a very bright future.
We talked about auditions a little bit here. Your character, Vince, goes to an audition during the film. I was wondering, as I was watching the film, about some of your real-life audition stories. Do you have any that stick out as being unusual or memorable in any way?
Oh, God, there's been so many. My first audition for Summer Stock, I drove all the way to New York for 20 hours to audition for that. And I had one of those classic auditions where you're in a dark auditorium and you don't see the people out there, and you begin your monologue and they stop you halfway through, kind of thing. It's sort of like the to be or not to be. Thank you.
That must be crushing for an actor.
You're going, I drove here 20 hours for that. Thank you very much. This is a real joy.
But I guess now, in your position as a director and an actor and a producer, you really understand that. So I'm sure that you don't do that when you're sitting.
No, I have. Listen, like I said, Stephen Strait, we didn't even read. No, I didn't even audition him. So I'm very, I kind of go through it in a very instinctual manner. I'm not big on putting actors on the spot. I mean, if we're going to read, I read with them and we explore the material and give them the time to relax and feel comfortable. And I don't, obviously we're on, being on that side of the fence, we will tend to be more sensitive to that.
Right. Now, the film won the Audience Award at the Tribeca Film Festival. What do you think it is about the movie that's really resonating with audiences?
Well, obviously it's very, very funny. I mean, people love, when you laugh viscerally at things, and then that's a beautiful thing for an audience, But I think because the movie, it sits on this layer of humanity, of real issues, of abandonment and the dreams never fulfilled and secrets and, and disappointments. These things, when you get to the end of the movie, you have that in your subconscious as you're watching the story, So when the characters go through their catharsis at the end, and you've been laughing so hard through the movie, all of a sudden you're going, why am I crying here at the end? You know what I mean? Yeah. It catches you by surprise, but I think it's because it's funny in human terms. It's not one of those sort of like silly jokes and kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. Well, congratulations on it.
Richard Crouse.